doing interviews. You'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am so excited about my guest today. We've had her on a few times, and I just absolutely adore her. She is so amazingly talented, and we're here to talk about her new project, which is very exciting because I have the lovely Miss Deborah Richard with us. So, hi, Deborah. How are you?
Hi, Corey. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm so good, and I'm so excited to talk to you again.
Yay.
And you're actually our first guest of the new year, so it's a great way to start it off.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
It's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's been the last year. I don't know exactly, but yeah, almost. Yeah.
I feel I've been locked away in a room ever since. And yeah, they just bring me out every other film, just to, like every couple of years, just to come talk to you.
I'm glad we finally got you out of there. But how have you been? You hanging in there with everything?
Good. As you know, just finished my second film.
Yes.
Shaken and Stirred.
Yes, which I'm so excited about.
Thank you. It's the first ever documentary about the underground world of competitive flair bartending, where they throw bottles around and stuff.
Which is very big here, especially in places like Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is the capital of the world for it, but it's interesting because there's never been a documentary about it, which is wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So it's very exciting. We've been filming it and working on it for 2.5, going on 3 years, I think. 3 years now. And,
That's a lot of work.
A lot of work. So it's nice to finally be out of the edit bay. And we have a premiere coming up in Vegas on March 25th at the Beverly downtown.
Oh, perfect.
So I hope you're there.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to go. I'd love to.
And I'm just very excited because, second feature film, and it just feels amazing to be this side of the mountain.
Yeah, well, and I love that. But no, you're so extremely talented, and
Stop. Go on.
No, but this is the whole thing with the documentary, and I heard about flair bartending and stuff. I seen like little clips in here and there, but like I never really thought about it until I actually had you on last time. You were talking about this, but it's so fascinating. I mean, and these people are so insanely talented, and they work so hard.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is the reason why there's never been a documentary, or about roughly like 20 years ago, it was like in its heyday. It was like total boom. And at that time, people in the flair bartending community thought maybe it would like cross over to like X Games because it's pretty extreme.
Wow.
But the problem is you can't market a bottle of vodka to a 5-year-old the same way you can a skateboard.
Right.
So it never really kind of went mainstream, and it always stayed underground. And these flair bartenders, they're complete studs. They go around the world competing, and some of the competitions have like $50,000 prize money, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and like it's so deserved, and you don't really think about like how much time and practice, and they constantly have to do it. But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's dangerous. And just like any sport, well, that's the interesting thing is like, is it a sport or is it not? And that's a whole a whole thing. Yeah. But I mean, it's competitive, so in those terms, it's a sport. But yeah, it's dangerous, and they have to put in a lot of time and effort, and it's pretty cool.
And so, what made you actually think of this, like to do the first documentary for it?
Sure. Well, once upon a time, in a previous life, I was a flair bartender in England.
Oh my gosh!
And I came to America to learn more about cocktail culture.
Wow! So that's what brought you to America.
That's what brought me to America. I got a map of America, and I closed my eyes, and I did this. And my finger landed on a town called Tampa in Florida. And so I bought a ticket.
Wow.
And I went to Florida, and I got to the airport, and the taxi driver said, "Where would you like to go?" And I said, "Well, take me to TGI Fridays, because that's all I know, because I worked at TGI Fridays in England." And that started my journey of bartending in America. And I was competing at that time a lot, and I competed like 50 times in 5 countries.
Oh my goodness.
Got a handful of titles, and I started one of the first flair bartending websites in the world ever, like a long time ago. And then Vegas called, and I came to Vegas, and that's what brought me here. Yeah. And yada, 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 skip forward a bunch of years, and doing the rounds for my last film of interviews and stuff,
Yeah.
two good friends of mine who are still in the bar industry, and they're legends in the bar industry. Their names are Rob Husted and Dean Seneals. And they have a podcast called Cocktail Network Live, and they wanted to interview me about not only my past life as a flair bartender, but they were also kind of curious about this new life as a filmmaker, right? And it was that interview. At the end of the interview, the three of us like, wow, we were there at its peak. We were in the mix, and I was like, wow, if anyone should do a documentary about this, it should be us. And they're like, that sounds great. So I was like, let me pitch this to my business partner, Patrick Watts. And so Pat and I went for a curry in Vegas, and I said, hey, how about this? And having Rob and Dean on board gave us like a legitimate way to engage with the community,
right?
Authentically, because they're legends in it. So I think if we'd just come as some production company and gone into bars and stuff, it would have been different.
They're kind of like, what
exactly,
are you doing here?
Yeah. But the community welcomed us with open arms, and so that was the genesis of the movie.
Yeah.
And so we spent 3 years. We followed 3 bartenders from Las Vegas, Colby Ashton, Lindsay Palumbo, and Lorenzo Garcia. We followed them for like 3 months as they prepped for the big competition in Florida. And the movie is intercut between that story and legends from the world of bartending, talking about the past, the present, and how they see the future going. Do you remember the movie Cocktail?
Yes, I do. Yes.
The guy that taught Tom Cruise for that movie, John Bandy, he's in our film talking about that experience and how that came about.
So Tom was really doing it then?
Yeah. John talks about all that and the things that Tom broke.
I'm sure, yeah. I wouldn't trust myself with anywhere near that.
When we started this movie, the team were like, well, what's your angle on the movie? And I was like, I don't want to shine a bad light on flair bartending. I don't want to shine a good light on bartending. I want to be agnostic and just put a light on it and let people talk about it in their words. And so we cover everything from the whole holistic view of the past, the present, the future, and also the challenges from what it's like to be a woman flair bartender and a woman in the hospitality industry, to the injuries these guys have sustained, to all of it, to the pressure of competition, to and we filmed it in Florida and Vegas and LA.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a lot of fun. The movie actually took me to Florida 3 times, which I wasn't expecting. And I used to live in Florida, but going back there now after being years in Vegas, it's like my hair just goes boop.
I only been to Florida once. Honestly, I was like, I don't think I'm ever coming back here again.
Well, the bugs are this big.
Yes. And when we went, it was, I'd never seen a love bug in real life. I just heard about them. And then it was like they had an infestation of love bugs. Like, so you couldn't like walk without being like touched by like a billion different love, and they're gross. And so I was like, this is like the worst thing I've ever been in my life.
That's funny. We're not to rag too hard on Florida, because we do love you, Florida.
It's got great parts about it. I'm not a bug girl. So it was not my thing.
And actually, when we the movie actually took us to Miami a few times, and Miami is such a special city. It's got its own flavor, and that Latin beat. It's an amazing town.
No, it's so fascinating. I love learning about like different things going on in the world, and like it's so cool. Like it's stuff you never really think about, but to learn about it, and it is like you said, like it's an art and a sport, like and not that many people know about it. I mean, like I said, you see it on like clips here and there, or TikTok and Facebook, and you see them, but you don't really see the whole world to it. And I'm sure just like the acting industry, everything, like there's really great things about it and there's really bad things about it. So I think that's cool that you're shedding a light on all of it.
Well, we just wanted to be like a fly on the wall making the movie and see what these guys go through to prepare to compete. Because once upon a time, that was me, going through that pressure of getting ready to compete. And I thought that's such an interesting thing to see as if you don't have access to that world, you don't know that they turn their garages into quasi bars and have mats all over the walls so they don't break stuff. It's really cool. Seeing all the the tools that they use and the process of the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I'm just so fascinated about it. And the trailer came out too, and that got a bunch of views. I know people.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool, and I hope it will shine a bigger light on it and make it even more popular. Like you said, the heyday was 20 years ago, but I think it should very much come around now, especially with social media and stuff and getting the attention for there.
I really think the movie Cocktail had a massive influence
Yeah.
on the art and sport of flair bartending, and it inspired a whole generation around the world of people to become bartenders, and it inspired me to become bartender.
Oh, so that's what made you want to do it then?
Yeah, I'm that and Cheers. I always thought Ted Danson's job looked really easy. He was always at the end of the bar having a drink, just chatting and not really working. I was like, that's the job for me.
There you go.
And so I think the impact that Cocktail had on the world of bartenders, I really hope, but I feel that this movie, Shaking a Stir, our movie, is going to do a similar thing, and it's going to have a massive influence for years to come. And the idea of that, I mean, I know we won't know until we know, but the idea
but we can manifest. We can.
No, the idea of that is very, very appealing and very exciting and very, very nice to know that a world that I was once very involved in. Yeah. It's like my love letter to that world. Yeah. And so that's really beautiful.
Has this inspired you to go back into it a little more, or not really? Or has it been I was good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at and the things that we're doing now and stuff. Yeah. But it's interesting because I always said I'm never going to make a documentary. I always said I'm not going to make a documentary. Documentaries aren't real films. I want to make stories, scary stories, exciting stories, love stories, all of it. But I never wanted to make a documentary. And someone once told me, your films pick you.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Because when that opportunity fell in my lap to make the movie, I was like, wow, this is literally a gift from God.
Yeah.
Being on a plate, here's access to this world. Here's a movie.
Everything fell in all the domino. Yeah, exactly.
So the movie chose me. So I'm really, really excited about it. But no, I don't feel the need to get behind the bar and throw bottles around. I'm very happy being on the couch.
Is that a good party trick for you every now and then? When you go somewhere, do you want to impress people?
You want to see my most dangerous party trick?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if the camera can see that, but that's my most
good for you.
That's my most dangerous
it's
party
trick. It's scaring me. No, I just think it's so cool, and I think it's great that that like you said, you actually were there firsthand, and you did win all these competitions and stuff. So you know what it's like. And I think even though, like you said, the other people that are involved, they got your foot in the door with them, I think the people respect you and really appreciate you, that you were there and you know exactly what it's like.
Well, it was incredible because in the film we have a lot of flyers from old competitions and stuff like that. And it's all stuff that I hung on to from 20, 30 years ago. And so it's really cool that I have this stack of things, events and everything that I went to around the world, and that we just, scanned them. Yeah. And it was just almost too easy. I mean, no film is easy.
No.
but as
especially a 3-year.
Each film we do takes 3-4 years. But there's overlap.
Of course,
as we're finishing one, we're starting the next.
Right.
But it is, it's a huge time commitment and a long journey and a tough mountain to climb.
And traveling, and I mean, that's like a big, big ordeal. That's really impressive that you were able to do it and accomplish it.
Well, it's so different from narrative, because narrative is a bit like a sprint.
Yeah.
Right? A documentary is like a marathon.
Right.
And it's crazy because you have an idea of the story you want to craft and what you want to tell, but you don't have it laid out like a shot list for a narrative where you're like, okay, we're shooting this, then this, then this, so like, for example, one of our stars, Lindsay, we had, I think like 26 hours of her that we had to condense into 15 minutes.
Oof. Oh my goodness.
and that's the same for a lot of the people, because you're shooting, and you don't know what you're going to use. So that was interesting, because it was like 36 terabytes of content that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. No, but I've never been involved with the documentary, but it's true. You don't really think about like how much, and you can, like you said, you can plan all you want, but things take you to different places and different opportunities. So
Right.
then you're like, well, now I gotta get this and I gotta get this.
Yeah,
and
'cause-
that's how you end up with it.
Because also there's that question of like, well, when do we stop?
Right.
Like, when do we stop
That's true,
shooting
yeah.
and start putting it together? Because the story is constantly, evolving.
Always going, yeah.
Evolving. And, there's part of me that thinks, because we stopped shooting, I think, like, quite a while ago, like, maybe a year ago.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more. But, I was lying in bed this morning thinking, it'd be cool if we were still shooting. But then it'd be another 2 years to live.
Yeah.
So at some point, you just got to cut it off and say.
Right. But you never know. There could be always opportunities in the future to revisit.
There could be a
it.
sequel.
Yeah.
I've always said I'll never do a sequel to a documentary.
Well, here we go.
But-
Or we can make it even a mini series where it's like 9 hours long.
Hey, if Netflix, if you listen,
Exactly.
if you want to come
That's what I'm
license
thinking.
this, make it a TV show, I will sign that all day.
That'd be a great reality show, actually.
It'd
that
be
could be a whole
very
nother
cool.
thing for
Be
you.
very cool. Netflix, call me.
Yes, Netflix. Get on the phone. Hulu will take any of them. But no, I'm so excited for it. And so the premiere is in March, correct?
Yeah, March 25th is red carpet premiere at the Beverly downtown.
Yeah.
We got a little after party upstairs afterwards,
Oh.
and a Q&A session.
Will there be Flair bartending at the party?
Maybe not, because it's already.
I think they want to take a break from it. Probably.
Well, there's just so much to organize
Yeah.
from our camp that it seems like another thing.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I gotcha.
Maybe we'll see. Watch the spot, but it's mainly for cast and crew,
Yeah.
and special guests like yourself, and yeah, I'm just really excited. I just don't know what to wear.
Whatever you wear, I'm sure you will make it absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you gotta love the red carpets and stuff. It's always fun. It's stressful though.
It's stressful.
Especially when you're the one organizing it. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, because like we were just talking a minute ago before we were on cam,
Yeah.
like, those photos last a really long time. So I want to make sure that I look good for it. I know this is really vapid and shallow, but
No, it's the truth.
I'm vapid and shallow. What can I say?
Me too. No, you're picking your Instagram photos. You want to make it's just it lasts forever. The
Lasts
internet's a
forever.
whole different beast. So
But I'm so nervous about the premiere because essentially it's 100. Well, I think like half the audience will be cast and crew, and the other half will be their guests.
right.
But I'm showing the movie for the first time to the people that made it
Yeah.
on a really big screen right in front of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they going to be so critical of how they look or the story that we tell? Because a lot of the people, like everyone, I mean, essentially, other than us producers that made it, the four of us, everyone's seeing it for the first time.
Right.
But it's scary.
I'm sure they'll love it though, because you could tell you put so much heart and soul into it, and you're coming at it from a place of love, and it's the first time anyone's really going into this world.
Yeah.
So I think everyone will be so happy and thrilled with it, and it's not like you're just someone that was just like, I'll make this to make a quick buck. Like you really put your heart and soul into it, and I think people will appreciate that no matter what.
I hope so. I hope that comes through in the final movie, because. And that's kind of why I wanted to stay agnostic, because I didn't want to put my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because then I felt like that would make me an easy target for different camps to be like, well, why is she saying that, or why does she get to portray it like that? So I thought if I put it in everyone else's words, then if they don't like it, then it's their fault.
Exactly. I like it. So it turns it around. They can't go after you.
but I felt that was the right way to go. To
No,
give a
I
whole
agree.
holistic view of the whole thing and let the people tell their story.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you obviously did interviews with a bunch of different people. Was there one particular interview or moment that stood out for you with everything, or?
Oh, that's a good question. Moments that stood out. I think just the whole experience of going to Miami with our film crew. Because we took our whole crew, and
I'm sure that was very stressful too.
It is a little, like
to organize everything,
waiting for the guests to show up at luggage, like thinking, oh my gosh, are the cameras going to make it? Are the lights going to make it? But we rented gear there, and it was just really fun being with like any film that you make, your crew become really tight because they become your film family. Yeah. And so the opportunity to experience another city with my film family was special.
Yeah, and especially when you like the people you work with, that makes all the difference.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think, especially for projects like this, I imagine you really have to get along with everyone
Oh,
and be
absolutely.
close.
And
Yeah.
I love my crew except for
Yeah.
one person, and you know who you are.
Good for you. We should call out names.
No, I'm just kidding. I love them all. They're all great. Everyone's amazing. We have the best crew.
No, I think that's awesome. And like I said, I think it's so cool that you are so passionate about it and you love it so much, and you were there and you know what it's like. So I think really this will make a huge difference for it. And like you said, I really think this will bring more attention to it and make it a way bigger thing than you can even imagine. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, look, it would be amazing if 5, 6, 8, 10 years from now, someone meets me and they're like, "Hey, I saw your movie and it inspired me to become a bartender in Singapore, and because of that, I've been doing this, this, and this." That would be the biggest thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it will happen. And like I said, I really can see this taking off into more and more opportunities for you. And maybe you'll be like, it's just a documentary queen. No, but I think it's a great opportunity. And I'm so glad you got everyone involved, and they really love it too. I can't wait for the premiere too. I'm sure it will just be a giant hit. Everyone will be so excited for it.
It's going to be fun. If you see me in the corner like this, just let me know. It's going to be okay.
No, I believe in you. And even the trailer alone, I think you could tell from that it'll be great.
Thanks. Yeah, it was crazy. I got an email this morning at like 4 a.m. from a friend in England who said they went to a bar and they were talking about the movie to 2 bartenders in London, and the 2 bartenders in London were like, "Yeah, we know about it. We're so excited."
Oh, so it's already getting out there before it even came out. Wow.
Yeah, and so I got that email this morning. I was like, "Wow, that's so cool. Our marketing is working, and people are excited about it around the world." Because that's the thing, we have a grassroots following. Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because of everything.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's one of the hardest things with any movie, is to connect with the audience.
Yeah.
But with this film, we realized the audience was already there. The grassroots audience was there. So that's really what convinced my business partner, Patrick, to say, "Yeah, let's do this movie." And so we've been capitalizing on that since day one, and everyone's been following along with the journey. And it's like a snowball rolling down the hill. It's getting more and more momentum, and here we are.
Well, no, and it's true. You don't even really think about it, but I'm sure everyone kind of knows everyone in some sort of way, because I'm sure it's a big community, but also it's also small at the same time. Exactly. So the word of mouth will absolutely get around, and then when people see it and they love it, they want to be like, "Oh yeah, you should watch this because it shows what I do." And so it'll just become a bigger and bigger hit, and the word will get out pretty dang quick, I'm sure.
I hope.
Yeah, no, it will, it absolutely will. I believe it. And like I said, the trailer is already getting the attention in England. I think that kind of shows everything right there.
Yeah, the trailer got like 70,000 views organically with no paid advertising.
That's crazy.
Just posted it on Facebook and Instagram, and that just to we've never had that before.
Yeah.
Our trailers get maybe 10,000 views, which is exciting for us.
Of course,
but 70,000 views,
like insane.
We're like, wow, this is working.
Yeah, no, I think this will be a really big hit, and I'm really excited for it. I'm so glad you took it on and even thought of this. Awesome, I think, like you said, it really felt like it was meant to be.
Yeah, and I've got to give credit where credit's due, and shout out a couple people because they've been so supportive. Finest Call Mixers has been a big supporter of the movie since day one, and I just want to give a shout out to my team, who's amazing, and our latest addition, Danielle Chambers, who's on our team. She's been amazing. She's been in charge of press relations and setting a lot of this stuff up, and just everyone involved has just been killing it, so I'm just so proud of everyone.
Yeah, and I think everyone will really be honored to be part of it as well, especially when they can share it with the whole world.
Yeah, and it's actually available right this second for pre-order.
Oh, okay.
At flairdocumentary.com. That's FLAIR documentary.com, and you can pre-order it today, and you get like a 10% discount, and then when it's released the day after the premiere on 26th, you can watch it at home.
Perfect. And so they can go to that website, and then is there other where they could keep in touch with your production company and everything you have going on in the future as well?
Sure. Our production company is called 1905 Films, which is named after the year Vegas was founded. So shout out to Vegas. I didn't know that. Yeah, shout out to Vegas. So this has been educational, if nothing else.
Yes, it has.
And you can find us on all the socials and Googles and things. 1905 Films.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on again. It was really an
Thank
honor,
you.
and I'm so excited for the premiere, and I just can't wait to see where this takes. I think it'll
Yay.
be a really big hit. So,
Awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you so much for being on, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please go support. Go to the website, pre-order. You get a 10% discount. You can't beat it, and I get it before everyone else knows about it. And you can be like, yeah, that's right, I know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you. God bless.
Showmanship has been a big part of bartending from day one.
And once you get into that zone, it's the best feeling in the world.
Legends in Vegas, it just changed the game.
I can break down a move, and if you never flare in your life, it might take years for you.
We all want to be the best.
On competition days, it's competition, your enemy right now, you know. But tonight we'll drink together.